Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego here in Central Florida. The live stream commences and the camera doesn't look correct. Gotta fix the camera. I don't know what's wrong with the camera. Hey, there you go. Karina's taking the day off today. She's gonna rest up just to get up for work tomorrow, like 3 o'clock in the morning. So here I am starting the live stream, what, 5 minutes early? It's 5 minutes to 6 Central Time here in Florida. It's November 18th, 2024. And this is your K1 Visa Green Card Processing YouTube channel. I give you all this free advice on how to process a green card, a K1 Visa, tourist visa, and spousal visa, CL1, R1. I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't give you any legal advice. Okay, I don't give you any legal advice, but I give you all this 10 years. I got 10 years of experience doing this. 10 years. Okay, I can write the K1 Visa package in my head while sleeping, walking across a tightrope. DJ Elias, thank you for your advice. Anytime, DJ. That's why I'm here. Karina's taking the day off today. She has to get up 3 o'clock in the morning for work tomorrow, so she's taking the night off. Ahmed, hi Diego, you will be viral in the future. Remember me. I remember everybody. I don't know if I'm going to be viral. I'm just trying to help people. That's all. I'm trying to help people get their visas and their green cards. But if it goes viral, then obviously something's going right somewhere. But remember, I'm not giving you any legal advice. Okay, I'm giving you 10 years worth of experience. How many immigration attorneys do you know that have brought a foreign national to the United States on a K1 visa and married them? Or did they go to law school and pass the bar exam, take some book schooling, and followed the process from their university studies? Nothing wrong with that, but you know, I've been through the mud with you guys. I've waded through the torrents of and I've been over the waterfalls. Let me see here. Chris and Emil, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. You agree? No tax on Social Security. I don't think we should even be paying income tax. Why do I have to pay freaking income tax? Who created that? Probably some Democrat back in the 1930s. I don't know. Some Democrat said, well, we need to start paying taxes on our income. But President Trump has got this idea where tariffs should be covering the expenses of our country. You put tariffs on imports, which is the way it used to be. Back in the day, before income tax, okay, before Americans paid income tax, there was a tax on tariffs. So anyway, Vimy Lawler, look at that that's a super sticker right there. So Vimy gets the first Mountain Dew salute plus she's gonna get Vimy, she's gonna get Pixie Dust for that fantastic super sticker. That's a super sticker. And Vimy says, hello Diego, how are you? I'm good. I hope you're good too. Hang in there, guys. You got to hang in there during this process. You got to be patient. Chris and Emil gave me 2 handprints. Now, I'm not sure, but they look pink. Or they look pink handprints. Vimy Lola, your kindness helps us this far. Vimy, I'm going to help you. Okay? Super chat or no super chat, you don't have to give a super sticker, but I'm going to help you. I want you to get reunited with your families. And Vimy says we are flying in 6 days. And Chris and Emil, that's a wave. Okay, I'll give you white back. But I'm going to give Vimy another Mountain Dew salute because they're flying in 6 days. That's the best news I've heard today. Get on that plane. Now remember, when you get to the United States, okay, get your Social Security card right away so you can get on the joint bank account. You can do it. It's easy to do. Got your K1 visa, you got your I-94, you got your passport, you go to the Social Security office and get the Social Security card. And Vimy Lawler says, how am I doing? I'm doing good. And I hope you're doing good, Vimy. And Joe A., thanks for your advice. Always. I know how to do a K1 visa and a green card application. There's not one question you cannot ask me that I don't know the answer to. And if there is, there's that 0.1%, I don't know the answer. I'll find it for you. Okay. And Ahmed says, Diego, you'll be viral in the near future. Remember me. Why would I forget you? I'm not going to forget any of you. Ahmed, is there any problem for the co-sponsor or joint sponsor related to a K1 visa in the embassy, or are they okay with that? It's okay. Immigration don't care if you're related. The co-sponsor can be your dad, your mom, your sister, your brother, your next door neighbor, your aunt, your second cousin, your best friend from high school. It doesn't matter. Immigration just wants to see the income, the money, the dinero, the moneda, the efectivo. They're looking for the income. That's what they're looking at. Doesn't matter where it's coming from as long as it's legal. Okay? So Ahmed, relax. If there's a joint sponsor needed, doesn't matter if it's related to the K1 visa. No problem. Chris and Emil, it's a wave. Jay con one time. Hey Diego, how are you doing? I'm good. Karina's taking the night off, so I got to figure out how this computer thingamajigger works. And I'm doing good. I hope you're doing good, JK one time. Chris and Emma, we're waiting for the notification email or call for the visa pickup. Okay, that's good. I got my Colombia hat on. You'll get it. It's all done. What you need to be focusing on right now is what you're going to do for your green card evidence. Okay. Chris and Emma, you're just waiting for the notification to go pick it up. JK one time. Diego, gonna apply for my social security number tomorrow? Good. So I have a question. By any chance I can apply for a work permit before I apply for my adjustment of status? No, you need to apply for your adjustment of status with your green card application, not before. If you apply for your work permit before, without including any green card application, I've got this new shirt on, then the immigration is going to be looking for your green card application. If they can't find it, plus there's an extra cost. It's over $400 if you file for a work permit separately. I think it's $400 some. You apply for the work permit with your green card application. Okay? Relax. You can do this. Karina did it. She's resting. She's watching the live stream, by the way. She's watching the live stream. So you got to apply together, your work permit and your green card. You have to apply together in the same package. You just got to pay for the work permit, okay? Plus the green card and the biometrics. You're doing very good. Just eating, sleeping, and repeating. Here in the United States, going to be almost a week since I arrived. Yeah. Now listen, JK one time. You're going to be bored out of your mind for while you're going through this paperwork drill. You can't work. You can't drive. You are 100% dependent upon your sponsor. Okay, but that's okay. That's why there's such an intensive screening process by USCIS to make sure that your sponsor is qualified to be able to take care of you while you're waiting, while you're in this transitionary period, while you're waiting for your work permit and your green card. Okay, you just gotta be patient. You gotta hang in there. You can do it. Karina did it. She did it. Chris and Emil, okay, that is great. Ahmed, Ashraf, through your point of view to the earlier presidency period of President Trump, what's your expectation for the time of processing a K1 visa? President Trump has got no control over how fast it takes to process a K1 visa. That's up to how busy the embassy is, how busy USCIS is. How many people are employed at USCIS? Do they have enough people to process the number of K1 visas that are being sent to them from different parts of the United States? Okay, the K1 visa process, the speed of processing depends on how accurate your application was without making any mistakes, how many people immigration has as a workload for work to process the paperwork, and how busy are the embassies around the world. The embassies around the world, some embassies are busier than others. The U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia is very busy. They're processing K1 visas from Venezuela, Curacao, Colombia. They're processing tourist visas. They're processing spousal visas. So the embassy in Bogota is busy. Does President Trump have any control over how many people apply for a tourist visa in the embassies around the world? No, he's got no control at all. President Trump, being elected president of the United States, is not going to stop K-1 visas. He's not going to stop green cards. He's not going to stop any of this. Legal immigration continues, no matter who's the president. Okay? But what President Trump is going to do, he is going to deport those people that came here illegally. So if you came to the United States illegally, okay, you're not supposed to be here, you will be deported. You will be found and deported. If I was to sneak into Colombia, okay, without due process and without a cedula, if the Colombian government found me, they would put me in prison, then they would fine me, and then they would deport me back here. Every country has immigration rules. Mexico has got the strongest immigration rules in South America. Okay? They're strict. If you are illegal in Mexico, you go into prison. So why is it the United States cannot be any different than any other country in the world? Well, it depends who the president is, right? Well, Biden got fired. The American people fired him. But actually, they fired Kamala Harris, which is one and the same, and they hired Trump. The American people have hired President Trump because they want to secure our borders. They don't want to block illegal immigration. They don't want to stop you. They're not going to put a block up. They want you to come. But they want you to do it the right way, which is the way you are doing it. So you've got nothing to worry about. You guys are going through the process legally. Police checks, medical exams. You're paying consular fees. You're going to the scary K-1 visa interviews, right? You're doing everything by the book. That's all you got to do. If you sneak into the United States effective January 20th, if you sneak in, you're not going to be arrested and then released into the city somewhere. You're going to be arrested, prosecuted, and deported. It's just what Trump's going to do. It's what would happen to me if I was to sneak into Colombia, or if I was to sneak into Australia, if I was to sneak into England. If I was an illegal immigrant in England, they would arrest me, put me in jail, and deport me. The United States is no different. Well, they were under Biden. Biden didn't have any frickin' border control. Not that I can think of that's really worth mentioning. I'm sure he had some, but it wasn't effective. Let me see here. So Ahmed, President Trump's not going to stop anything happening from K1s. Hector Mercado, hello Diego, greetings from Dawsonville, Georgia. Very nice. Tuning in for your great advice. Keep up the great work. Hector, I want to give you a Mountain Dew salute for positivity. So I got my Venezuelan hat here. I got my American hat. I got my Colombian sombrero. I got my hat from Cartagena. And Karina's hat is right here. Mountain Dew salute to Hector. Welcome. We welcome new folks to the live stream. If you haven't been on this live stream before, welcome aboard. We're glad you're here. And a salute to everybody in Dawsonville, Georgia. And Jay Hughes, hello Diego, greetings to you, and greetings to you also, and your family. Chris and Emma, what does Karina do for employment? She is employed. I'm not going to put publicly out on the YouTube channel that goes to 160 countries what Karina does for work. She has a good job. She's making pretty good, and she's in the system. She's doing great. But whatever she does is her business. Let's see. Jay, one time. Okay, got it. We were going to apply for the green card application with the work permit 13 to 15 days after we get married. No, that's not good. It's too early. But we're going to take your advice and wait 60 days. There you go. Before we apply for the green card application. There you go. You're listening to me. If you apply for your green card within 2 weeks of getting married, immigration that's going to be a red flag. It's going to be up in the air for the immigration. They're going to go, what the heck? Did you guys have enough time to get accustomed to being in America? No, you got to wait 50, 60 days. Don't be in a big hurry. You are in America. If you get married within 90 days, as specified on the I-94, you're in status. So relax. Don't be in a big hurry to get the paperwork sent to immigration. Yes, I know you want to get your green card, you want to get your work permit, but you got to stay calm in the head, relax. 50, 60 days, put together a fantastic green card application, get 2 months worth of joint bank account statements, 2 months worth of bills like the water bill, electric, trash, etc. Get on the title to the car, Mr. Beneficiary, Miss Beneficiary, get on the deed to the apartment or the house. You got to show joint cohabitation. You got to show joint commingling of funds. 50 to 60 days is plenty of time to get all this paperwork together. Get a library card. Get a Sam's Club card. Get a BJ's Warehouse Club card. Get as much evidence as you possibly can to show that you are living together happily and you are commingling money together. Your joint account holders on banks is very important. Immigration want to see that. Okay? So it takes time. It takes about 50 to 60 days to put that package together. And then when you file for your green card, you're going to include a blown up color copy of your biographic page of your passport, Mr. Sponsor, and Miss Beneficiary, Mr. Beneficiary, and any K2 children. You're going to include the birth certificates, certified copies or copies if they can't get them certified, just copies, translated into English if they are not in English. Primarily, immigration is looking for the long form birth certificate, not the short form birth certificate. They're looking for long form birth certificate. Okay, that's what they're looking for. All right, that's what they're looking for. You're going to include the I-94 in the green card application. If you have a K2 with you, a child, you're going to have a separate green card application for the beneficiary and a separate green card application for the child. Even if the child is a year old, the child is going to be applying for his or her own individual green card, which means you've got to have individual 864s. All the paperwork has to be processed for the sponsor equally for the K2, no matter how old the child is, okay? Including I-94s. You got to get the I-94 for the beneficiary and the I-94 for the child. They got to be in two separate green card applications. But the good news is you can put them in one big box and ship them via UPS, FedEx, or DHL to the service center, wherever it is you're going to be mailing it to. There's only 4 for the green card. You can put them all together, but you got to file separately with separate checks. So if you have a check for the beneficiary, $1,440 for the green card and biometrics, and then you're going to have a check for the K2. And if the child is 14 years or older, up to age 20, that check's going to be for $1,440 also. So you're going to have 2 checks. One for, do you see what I'm saying? You don't make the mistake of forgetting to include the green card application for the child. Lots of people, they think, well, my child came in with me on the I-129F as a derivative, so they file for the green card just for the beneficiary, and they forget to include the child. So the beneficiary, his or her green card comes in the mail. Hey, I got my green card. But where's my child? Where's the green card for my child? Where is it? You got to apply for it. If you don't, you ain't going to get it. And then your child becomes out of status. Okay? Ahmed, tourist visa refused under 214B and K1 visa interview. Is there any impact? No. If you have a tourist visa denial while you're in the middle of a K1 visa process, there's no impact at the K1 visa interview. What immigration is saying is, no, you can't come to America as a tourist. You're going to wait until you get your K1 visa and come in as a K1 visa applicant. Some countries, some ambassadors at in different embassies have different rules. Okay? So if you get a denial for a tourist visa, it's not going to affect the K1 visa. They're two different, it's apples and oranges. Apples and oranges. Okay? What the immigration office is trying to do is they're trying to prevent you from coming to America on a tourist visa, and then you get excited about being with your sponsor and you get married on a tourist visa, and then that's a problem. So if you get denied a tourist visa in the middle of a K1, don't worry about it. It will not hurt your K1 visa. Julian ALO, good evening, Diego. How are you? I'm good. How am I doing? I'm good. Still here waiting for my green card. You'll get it. Diego, why do they take so long now to work on adjustment of status? They need to hire more people. Okay? They hired a bunch of people in 2022, and then 2023, they got all trained up. And in 2024, by the end of 2024, which is right now, they started quitting and they're going to work somewhere else. This job is not by any means easy, okay? Adjudicating green cards and adjudicating K-1 visas is not an easy job. Some people can handle it, some people cannot. Some people don't have the strength to deny a green card or to deny a K-1. Suppose you get a K-1 visa in the mail, and the consular officer is looking at it, and it's a total disaster. They're not qualified for the benefit. That person has to say, no, you can't have your K-1 visa. That's a lot of weight to carry on somebody's shoulders. They don't want to deny. They want to approve. They want to approve your visa. They want to approve your K-1. But if you don't qualify, they have to say no. Some people can handle it. Some people can't. So they got to hire more people and retrain them. Okay? That's what's going on. Let me see. So that's the reason, Julian ALO. Hannah, hi Diego. What does it mean, the status of I-765 application with USAS approval case decision rendered? It means you got approved. You just got to wait. If it was denied, you'd say denied. So you're good. Just wait. Do like this. Relax. Don't do it. Just relax. Just relax. Put your feet up on the desk, and you're good. You're good. Larry Piercy on standby. Larry, I'm drinking. I'm just about finished all your Mountain Dews. Thank you, Larry. I'm down to like one left. But as a Mountain Dew salute to everybody. Jay, one time. I got here on the 12th of November. I'm going to get married on the 27th of November, right? Inshallah, do you think it's going to be an issue because we got married early? No. Was it fine as long as we get a good green card out? Karina got married to me. We arrived in America January 4th. Karina, where are you? January 3rd. We got married on January 14th of 2024. That was what? Within 2 weeks. But we didn't. So we were married within what? 2 weeks. But we did not apply for the green card for like another month and a half, another 50 days or so. Because why? Well, we had to put a good green card package together. We had to collect all the evidence. It takes time for the mail to come with Karina's name on the bills. Okay? So take your time. Don't be in a big rush. If you get married you can get married the day you arrive in America if you want. Fly to Las Vegas, get married the day you arrive. But do not apply for your green card for at least 50 or 60 days until you have all the paperwork together. And Larry's on standby. Jay Hughes, hello Diego. Can one join the military with the marriage certificate? No, you cannot join the military. You got to have, if you are a foreign national and you want to join the U.S. military, very good. You're welcome to do so if you qualify, if you meet the qualifications, but you got to have a green card and a social security number. You cannot join the military with a marriage certificate. You got to have a green card and you got to have a social security number. Okay? And you got to qualify. If you want to join the military, you got to meet certain physical requirements. You got to have a medical exam. You got to pass a test. A certain exam you got to take. You got to pass. And you got to be in physical shape, good shape. But the only thing is you cannot get a job in the military that requires a security clearance. Only U.S. citizens can get a security clearance in the military. So if you want to join Space Force, you cannot join Space Force, but you can join the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Coast Guard, the Merchant Marine, the Air Force, whatever you can, but you just won't get a job with a security clearance. So you'll get a job that does not require access to classified information. Larry Piercy, do we file 2 years and 9 months from the date on a conditional green card? I think what you meant to say there, Larry, is do we apply for U.S. citizenship 2 years and 9 months from the date of the conditional green card? That's what you meant to say. But Larry, that's correct. And Larry, you got to understand that even though I had to unravel what it is you're saying. I know what you're saying. What you meant to say was, do we file for U.S. citizenship 2 years and 9 months from the issue date of the conditional green card? And the answer is yes. That's correct. And you file N400, and you can file online for U.S. citizenship. But you got to be 3 years from the issue date of the conditional green card minus 3 months. Jay, one time. Okay, Diego, I'm writing everything down. There you go. Write everything down. Or just watch the videos that I've made. There should be no excuse why you cannot get an approved green card or K1 visa if you watch all of the videos or as ones which pertain to you on this channel, as long as you're qualified for the benefit. Okay? Larry Pierce, if you need to come up with a grub run. No, I'm just joking, Larry. I'm just saying. Mountain Dew salute to Larry. Larry bought these Mountain Dews. I got 2 left. And these keep me going during the live stream. They keep me going during the live stream. Mountain Dew doesn't pay me, by the way, to give Mountain Dew salutes. I just like Mountain Dew. Ahmed, you always encourage for at least twice visits between the couple for K1. Yes. I always say, make 2 trips. People get in a big hurry, okay? They fly to a country, they stay for a month or 2 weeks, and okay, this is the love of my life. I got to get married. I got to file the K1 visa. You've only made 1 trip. You spent 2 weeks together, and now you got to file for a K1. You're madly in love. Immigration wants to see a relationship that was developed over a period of time. I dated Karina for 3 years. Okay? We had an engagement after 1 year. We were engaged after a year of dating each other. I made 5 trips to Colombia. 5 trips. 2 trips before I filed the K1. So when immigration got the K1 visa application, they saw that I'd been with Karina for 6 months with all this evidence of my name on the rent receipts for the apartment we rented together. We rented an apartment together in Bogota. Even though I live in America, my domicile is the United States. But I put my name on the deed to the apartment in Colombia. So my name is on it. Karina's name was on it. I paid Karina every month to get the rent paid. Well, she was working, so I didn't really need to do that, but I did anyway, because that was evidence of financial support. So we dated for a year. I asked her to marry me. Then we had an engagement party, and then I filed the K1 visa application. And then after 3 years, we got married. Because remember, back in those days, K1 visas were taking 2 years to get approved because of the COVID. So you don't want to file a K1 visa for somebody if you've only met them once for 2 weeks. How do you get to know somebody in 2 weeks? Okay, you've been writing to each other for a year. Okay, that's great, but you got to get to know somebody. You don't want to make a mistake for the beneficiary and the sponsor. You don't want to bring somebody to the United States from a foreign country, and then when they've been here for 6 months, they say, oh, no, I don't want to be here. It happens all the time. Then they want to go home, or they want to get divorced or whatever. Make sure before you file the K1 visa, you are in a relationship with that person, beneficiary and sponsor, not just the sponsor, both of you. Okay? Don't make big mistakes. Don't make mistakes. Make 2 trips. Spend lots of time together. Get to know each other. Know everything about your beneficiary. Miss Beneficiary, know everything about the U.S. citizen sponsor. Know everything about him. Where he works, how much money does he make? If he doesn't want to tell you how much money he makes, then that's not the guy you want to be with. Was he married before? Does he have a divorce? If he was divorced in the past, he needs to tell you, yeah, I was divorced. Here's my divorce decree. What happened? Well, it didn't work out. Things didn't work out because of this or that. He needs to explain it to you, Miss Beneficiary. If your American citizen was married in the past, what happened? Things happened. It's no biggie. Just get a divorce. Okay? You got Miss Beneficiary. Do you know what your sponsor's favorite food is? what his favorite football team is, what kind of sports does he like to play, or she? You know, does he have family? Does he have a brother or a sister? Where was he born? Where was she born? What school did she graduate from, college or university? You got to know everything about everything. The sponsor has to know everything about the beneficiary. The beneficiary's got to know everything about the sponsor. That's for your benefit, not immigration, but it helps you when you go to the visa interview, because the immigration officer is already going to see your K-1 visa package. So, you know, just don't make a mistake, guys. It's expensive. This green card K-1 visa process is expensive and time consuming, so don't mess it up. Let me see here. 2 visits, Ahmed. I recommend 2 visits at a minimum to go see your beneficiary in her foreign country or his foreign country. Let me see here. Julian, hello. In my USCIS account was saying 3 months after submitted my RFE. Then last week it says 11 months. Now it says 13 months. Don't look in there. All they're trying to do is stop you from calling to ask. When they extend out the time processing like that, they're trying to stop you from calling them with questions. That's why they do that. It's not going to take 13 months to process your RFE. It's not going to take that long. They're just trying to stop people from calling with questions. Where's my green card? What's the status? What's the deal? Because lots of people, myself included, are not patient. But you got to learn patience in this process. Just relax, Julian. Put your feet up. Drink some Mountain Dew. Watch some movies. Learn about America. Study American history. And that way you will get through this, okay? Stay busy as best as you can. Let me see. Chris Namel, Texas Roadhouse meeting for Larry. Deco Ahmed. Hey, good evening. If my K-1 refuses or rejects, can I apply for married? Yeah. And it's not refused. When you go to the K-1 visa interview, the first thing that's going to come out, you're going to be told, yeah, you passed the K-1 visa interview, but the status on your USCIS online account is going to say refused. But it's not. It's just something they put out there while they process your visa. And then it goes to approved, and then it goes to issued. What you're trying to say is this. If you go to the K-1 visa interview and they deny your beneficiary, no, you don't pass. I'm sorry, we're not going to issue you the K-1 visa. Well, the alternative is for you to get married, which you can do, and file for a spousal visa. Okay? If the consular officer doesn't think that you guys are really in a real relationship, but you really are, and you get a denial where you cannot get the K-1, then fly to her country or his country, get married, and file for a CR1 spousal visa. They're not going to stop you from doing that. It's not going to hurt you. Let me see here. So, Deco, don't worry, okay? Larry Piercy, I mean the 1 year, 9 month. Right, Larry. Where Morgie and Karina got her green card issued to her with the issue date of June of 2024. So in March of 2020, in March of 2027, 25, 26, she can apply for her 10-year green card. 10-year green card is you are lifting the conditions off of the 2-year green card. You're not renewing a 2-year green card. A 2-year green card cannot be renewed. It cannot be renewed. It can only be, the conditions have to be lifted off of it. If you do not lift the conditions off of it within 90 days of it expiring, you will be deported. Especially with Trump as president, he's going to deport you. He's not going to cut you any slack. Okay? So, 90 days before your 2-year green card expires, file for your 10-year green card within those 90 days before it expires. Okay? Not 91 days. If you wait 91 days and apply for a 10-year green card and it's 91 days before it expires and it's 1 day expired, They send everything back to you and send you a letter of deportation. So you get your 2-year green card, you look at it, the issue date and the expiration date. You take the expiration date, you minus 90 days from the expiration date. In those 90 days, somewhere, in those 90 days before it expires, or it terminates, not expires, before it terminates, you have to lift the conditions off of it and apply for your 10-year green card. If you need help filing for a 10-year green card, stick with me and Karina. Karina's taking a day off today. But just hang out with us and we'll get you through it. We're going to get you through it. Karina, she has to do the same thing you guys have to do. Okay? But the thing is, I know how to do this, and I got no worries. I know how to do it. And that's why you guys are here with me, so you can learn how to do it. So you don't have to pay an immigration attorney thousands and thousands of dollars. It's insane money, okay? That money needs to be used for your family. Let me see here. So Larry Piercy, 1 year, 9 months before Mogi's 2-year green card expires, you have to lift the conditions off of it for a 10-year green card. K Messenger, hello Diego, hope all is great with you and Karina. We're good, K Messenger. Karina took the night off tonight. She's taking the night off. Okay, today was her day off, and tomorrow she's got to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, so she's working tomorrow. JK1 time. Also, I can't be on my fiance's lease until 6 months or a year of her agreement because she just moved to a new apartment, so we won't be putting that on the green card. You have to. You have to be on the lease agreement to the apartment. If you don't prove cohabitation, you're going to get an RFE. Immigration's going to send you an RFE, request for further evidence. Why are you not showing proof of cohabitation? You got to prove it. So, how do you pay your rent? How do you pay the rent? Is there like a month? Do you write a check? How do you do it? You got to put your name on the lease agreement. You don't wait 6 months. You got to do it. You got to put your name on the lease agreement. Even if you got to handwrite it, okay? You got to show proof of cohabitation. Before you file for the green card, you got to show you guys live under the same roof together. That's the number one thing they look for is a joint account on the lease or the rental agreement. Larry Piercy, yep, Chris Oldtimer, K Messenger. We have a follow-up question in regard to 2-year green card. That's why I'm here. We have electronic notification activated today. It moved to no interview required. The final step is approval. We filed receipt August 7th. So that means you're going to get the green card mailed to you from Corbin, Kentucky. You don't have to have a face-to-face. No more scary visa interviews. The next visa interview you're going to have is when you apply for U.S. citizenship. Then you got to go and do a face-to-face and take a test. Okay, but the follow-up question regarding 2-year green card, you're going to get it without you're going to have it issued without an interview, and you're good to go. Just wait for it to get mailed to you. It's going to be coming to you from Corbin, Kentucky. Good, but congratulations, by the way, for K Messenger. That's a Mountain Dew salute for K Messenger right there, most definitely. JK one time. Also, I'm going to try to volunteer for county fire department. You can do that. Am I allowed to do that? Yes, you can. Without a work permit, you can do that. It's a volunteer. You're not getting paid. You're volunteering your time. You can do that. I want to do it because I'm trying to keep myself busy. Well, that's one way to do it. I was a firefighter a while back in your home country. Well, that's great. You can be a volunteer firefighter, no problem. They may ask you for a social security number, but probably that's the most they're going to ask for. Larry Piercy, Diego, Mogi asked me, what work do you do? What work do I do? I'm retired. I retired from the Navy. I retired from Mercedes-Benz. I retired from real estate. And now I do YouTube for you guys. And I do this for free. So what do? I just do YouTube and I take care of the house, take care of the yard, do the maintenance. But Karina, she's working, okay? And what she does is not public. Shanna Napier. Hi, Diego. Shanna, what is going on, Shanna? We hope you are doing well. We hope your family is good. K Messenger, how long would you estimate to receive green card provided on the information above? It's taking about 9 months to get green cards right now. So I would say, when did you apply? When? In August? Let me see. You applied when? In August, September, October, November, December. So probably by April or May of next year. Okay. Let me see. But be patient, K Messenger. You're good. Chris and Emil. So when my fiance has to go to the health department, is it required for green card? No, not to go to the health department. You don't need a green card. No, you just need to be on your health insurance. K Messenger, thank you. You're welcome. Red Rillo, hi Diego. What's going on, Red? Long time. We hope you want. Karina's taking the night off tonight. She's taking a day off. Deco, thank you. You're welcome. Larry Piercy, I'm on you like a cheap suit. Okay. Chris and Emil, no more cheap bikinis. Larry Piercy. Okay. What is a cheap bikini anyway? I mean, that's kind of what? Scary. JK one time, the apartment management won't put me on the lease. We tried. They said at least after 6 months of lease, they can put me on it because she got the lease signed before I came to the U.S. Okay, well, you go back to the apartment manager and say, USCIS immigration requires that your name is on the lease, so they need to put your name on the lease. Okay? Or you can ask the apartment manager to write a letter saying that you are cohabitating with your wife at this address and you will be put on the lease after 6 months. Either or. Okay? You got to have documented evidence. You got to have the apartment manager, the property manager, whoever it is. Now, I had a real estate license, so I know how it works. Property managers have to have a real estate license to be a property manager. They just got to write a letter saying that you are a resident living at this address. Okay? They're saying you live here with your wife, and you will be put on the lease after 6 months. Have them write a letter stating that and have them sign it and have it put on property management letterhead. That covers you. Okay? Then you cover. Larry Piercy, me is no job. Mogi then says how we eat. Okay, well, Mogi's from Thailand, right, Larry? So I'm sure that Mogi knows how to make excellent Thai food. So you're never going to be hungry. Thai curry, pad Thai, it's all delicious. Just one time. Diego, you're too young to be retired. I retired so many times. I don't know. I'm going to keep doing. I can't not do something. So I do YouTube now. And I got my Colombian hat on. So what am I going to do? I can do something. I think of something. I think what I'm going to do, maybe I'll start a coffee company. I was thinking about this with Karina. When we were in Colombia, we made friends with people that own coffee farms in the farm belt of Colombia. You know, the farm belt of Colombia, the farm belt where they process coffee beans. The altitude and the climate affects how good coffee beans are. So maybe I'll import coffee beans from Colombia, get them packaged by a package company, processing company, and then give them away to you guys on YouTube. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll start a coffee company for Karina in her name. How about that? Maybe I'll do that. Start a coffee company. I think that's what I'll do. Now, Karina, she also has marketing skills. She has a degree in taxation. So she's got her, all these opportunities waiting for her here in the United States. Opportunities that perhaps weren't there for her in Colombia and definitely are not there for her in Venezuela. Not until we get rid of that freaking dictator Maduro. Hopefully Trump gets rid of that guy, legally, of course. we don't want any harm to come to Maduro, but we would like for him to be removed from Venezuela and maybe let him retire somewhere other than maybe put him on a plane to Cuba. But that's too close to Florida anyway. I don't know. Maybe send him to North Korea. JK, one time, go to your property manager and have that manager write a letter saying that you are a legal resident occupying this apartment with your wife, and you will be placed on the lease as soon as the lease agreement is up and you re-sign the lease. Gotta have it. Listen to me, man. You gotta listen to me, guys. Larry Piercy, Diego is older than he looks. Well, yeah, I mean, well, I'm gonna be 93 next month, right? I'm doing pretty good for my age. I'm not 93, I'm kidding. Orlando Lopez. Hello, sir. We sent our I-129F in October of 2023. I arrived in Miami with my fiance last Thursday. Getting married soon. Thank you. And Orlando gets a Mountain Dew salute. Congratulations, Orlando. And you've been on the channel for a long time, if I recall. And I know you're getting married soon. You got no choice. You got 90 days. So we're going to put pixie dust all over your marriage. And good job, Orlando Lopez. Chris and Emil, Diego is maybe 54 or 63. Look at that. Two numbers you threw out there, 54 or 63. Don't you think, Larry Piercy? Which one is it? Am I 54 or am I 63? Which one? Maybe I'm not either one of those. K Messenger, did your green card process take 9 months? No, it took, Karina's green card process took 3.5 months. It was quick. Receipt to approval, 3.5 months. JK, one time, you should definitely do that. We will buy it for sure. Okay, I'm not saying you got to buy it. I'm thinking I'll start a coffee company, and maybe I'll call it Karina Ross Coffee Company. Give it her name, right? Give her the name to the coffee company. And then that way I don't have to file for a fictitious name with the state because it's her name. So I don't have to file for a fictitious name with the state. I'll call it the Karina Ross Coffee Company. And then I'll import coffee from Colombia. It's not hard to do. Get it processed properly. And there's a company up in New York, I know that can do that. And then I'll get behind me, I'll stack up all this coffee in bags of coffee. I don't know if you guys like regular coffee or decaffeinated coffee, but maybe I'll come up with some idea where I'll give you a bag of coffee for free. You just tell your friends about it. Okay, that would be part of the deal. You get one for free, and then you tell everybody you know about it, and then that starts the business rolling, right? Kind of. Let me see. Chris and Emil's laughing. So Chris and Emil, what are you laughing at? You all should be doing good. Y'all getting through this K1 visa process. You're getting through this green card process. Karina's taking the night off, and she's watching the live stream. So if you want to say hi to Karina, you go right ahead. She's watching the live stream. She's just relaxing. She works her tail off. Larry Piercy, will you roast it or get it already roasted, ground or whole bean? I'll figure that out. I will have it probably already roasted, so you don't have to roast it. Maybe it's easier just to get the coffee beans or the coffee already processed in coffee bags from Colombia. Maybe I'll do that. Karina and I did visit the federales of Colombia that control the coffee in Colombia. Can't remember the name of them. These guys are they're the overseers of coffee production. And I made a video about it, I think. But we learned that the coffee beans that originated in Colombia first started in Venezuela. The Catholic priests, I believe, in Venezuela were shipping the coffee beans from Venezuela to Colombia, but the Venezuelans didn't use the capitalist skills that the Colombians had. the Venezuelans would just, the Catholic priests aren't capitalists so much. They would just they were just importing the coffee to Colombia, and then the Colombians took it and ran with it and created this massive conglomerate for Colombia and created lots of cash flow for Colombia. So, but I'll do that. I think I'll do a coffee company from Colombia. It's only going to be Colombian coffee though. Let me see. I don't know. I'll figure it out, Larry. I'll tell you on the next live stream, okay? Jay, one time. Yes, sir, we will do it. It was going to just file it after 14 to 15 days of getting married without the lease. I'm glad I asked for you first. There you go. Mountain Dew salute. You got to get proof of joint cohabitation. You need to explain to the property manager that immigration have to have evidence of cohabitation. You're living together. It won't take them but a minute to get a letterhead from the company, that the property management, write a letter saying that you live at this address with, it's an affidavit, the manager signs it, dates it, and then you can make a copy of it, make a copy of that letter, or have them sign 2 copies, and you put the original letter in the green card application, and have them sign 2 or 3 original copies. So then you can have it for the future also, for the 10-year green card. Then you don't have to worry about it anymore. Unless you move. JK one time. Now we got to do that, and we'll wait 50 to 60 days. No compromise. No. In those 50 to 60 days, you're going to collect all this evidence of your relationship. When you file for your green card, you're not going to get an RFE if you filed the green card properly. You don't make any mistakes. You don't make any typos, and you're good. And you'll get your green card without another interview, which is the goal of this channel, is for you guys to get your green cards without any more scary visa interviews. And also get your K1 visas approved the first time with no RFEs. And Destiny's Room is in the house, everybody. Hi, everybody. Hi, everyone from Destiny's Room. Chris and Emil, Larry Piercy wants a nice coffee mug or coffee cup made by a coffee company, but Starbucks out of business. What was interesting when I was in Colombia was Starbucks have a lot of coffee restaurants, I guess you'd call them, in Colombia. They got a bunch in Bogota, and they're pretty much all over Colombia. And what was interesting about Starbucks, when they first approached the Colombian Minister of Finance or Commerce, whatever you want to call him, when they approached the Minister of Finance, Minister of Commerce, to get the permission slip to open up the franchise in Colombia, they wrote a letter and they spelled Colombia with a U. They said, we would like to open up Starbucks in Colombia, and they spelled Colombia like this. Let me write it here. They spelled Colombia like this. Okay? Well, Colombia spelled like that is in South Carolina. It's Columbia, South Carolina. They got a letter back from the Minister of Commerce in Colombia saying, we're not interested in doing business with you, Starbucks, because you can't even spell our freaking name of our country right. Our country is spelled Colombia with a U. Okay? So Starbucks almost lost their ability to do business in Colombia because they didn't spell the name of the country correctly. It's very offensive to Colombians if you don't pronounce their country's name or spell it properly. If you spell Colombia with a U, you're going to offend the Colombians big time. It's disrespectful. Okay? So when I applied for a visa to live in Colombia for a year, okay, I made darn sure I spelled Colombia correctly. So anyway, that's the Starbucks story. They almost lost the ability to franchise in Colombia because they couldn't spell the name of the country properly. They almost lost business there, but they do now. They have lots of Starbucks in Colombia. Let me see now. Destiny's Room. My husband now has 2 social security numbers. The Social Security office must have made a mistake. You need to go back to the Social Security Administration with both of those Social Security cards and have the Social Security Administration pick a number and that's going to be the one that's issued to your husband. Because that's a big mistake right there. And that could be a problem in the future. Okay? So Destiny's Room, please go back to the Social Security Administration with those Social Security cards and have them fix it. Say, you gave me 2 Social Security cards. Which one is mine? And then the Social Security officer will then go into the computer and fix it on the spot. Okay? And then keep the card, which is issued to your husband. Okay? Do it tomorrow. We're going to have to throw pixie dust all over that. That's an easy fix, though, okay? Don't sweat it. You'll do it tomorrow, Destiny's Room. It's easy to fix. Don't worry. It's just administrative error. Remember, the Social Security Administration is ran by people, and people make mistakes. USCIS is ran by people, and people make mistakes. People are human. People make errors. But you just fix it. When you catch it, you fix it. Just fix it. It's no big deal. But you gotta have the Social Security Administration to tell your husband which one is his correct Social Security number, because that's the number he's going to use for everything else. We aren't mad. We're just shocked. I think it's funny. Yeah, don't be angry. People make mistakes all the time. Somebody made a boo-boo, and you're going to fix it. Okay. And it's disappointing to me when somebody gets their K-1 visa in their passport and somebody in the embassy typed out their name wrong. Okay? And the K-1 visa doesn't match the passport. It's a human error, but it wasn't the K-1 visa applicant's fault, but it slows down the freaking process. They got to go back to the embassy and fix the problem. Okay? Destiny's Room, I want a new Social Security number. No, you don't. You're good to go. You don't need a new Social Security number. You are perfectly good. But your husband they need to tell him which one is his correct one. Okay? So they can go into the computer and fix it. Very, very important. You don't want to be using an incorrect Social Security number, because it's going to cause all kinds of headaches, especially in the future when time comes for him to collect his Social Security retirement. And if he's been paying into the wrong Social Security number, that's when they're going to catch it, and they're going to say, I'm sorry, this number doesn't match his name. He's not going to get the money. That could happen. So tomorrow you're going to fix it, right? Very good. Okay, give me some more questions. I've been talking for what, an hour? I can keep going. What else? What other questions? We fixed some serious issues here today. We fixed some problems today. And that's the whole purpose of the channel. I'm doing it 3 times a week. Like I said, Karina's working, so she's going to take some days off from this, so she doesn't have to sit, for an hour or so, because she just wants to be able to relax when she gets off of work. But I'm going to answer your questions about the green card process. A lot of people are worried about Trump being president. The only people that need to worry about Trump being president in the immigration process are illegal immigrants. Okay? And if you are a green card holder that came in and got your green card fraudulently, let's suppose you got your green card fraudulently, that Trump's his administration will find out, okay, and they will they will decertify the green card and deport you. So it's very important that you don't lie to the immigration officers. If you follow the process and put in place by the Congress, and you don't lie to immigration, and you do what you got to do, you don't fill up any stories, you don't make any lies on the I-129F, you don't make up any lies on the 485. If everything is 100% true, you got nothing to worry about. Trump's not going to come after you. But what he wants to do is get rid of those people that have bad character, who snuck in our country without getting permission. I'm amazed that the people in New York City, Mayor Adams was giving out these credit cards to these illegal immigrants and giving them $2,000 a month cash to spend. And where did that money come from? The taxpayers of New York City. So the taxpayers of New York City are funding for illegal immigrants to have a happy life. Well, can you imagine if I went to Colombia and I went to the migration, Colombian immigration, and said, I need a credit card. I want you to pay me 5 million pesos a month so I can live in Colombia. They would laugh at me. They would laugh, and then they put me in prison, and then they deport me. Do you know what the fine is? Do you know how much the fine is if you overstay your tourist visa in Colombia? Have a guess. Okay, Destiny's Room, gotta go. Thanks, Diego. See you soon. Okay, Destiny's Room, you have a great rest of the night. I don't even know what day it is. Since I retired, I got to figure out what day it is. I think today is Wednesday, if I remember. If Karina knows, is it Wednesday today or Monday? No, today's Monday. Today's Monday. All right, see you later, Destiny's Room. If you are in this country illegally, my advice to you would be to go home. Pack your stuff and go home, and then apply to the U.S. consulate in your home country for legal immigration. Do it the right way. Chris and Emil to Larry, we have to get Chuck out. Chuck out. I know Trump will make him so mad that he will leave. Chuck, you talking about President Biden? President Biden, let me tell you about President Biden, okay? Kamala Harris and Nancy Pelosi, this is just an opinion, they worked behind the scenes to get rid of, Chuck Schumer, gotcha. They worked behind the scenes to get rid of Biden as president, as a candidate. Dr. Jill Biden and President Biden were angry that happened. So do you know, I think that Jill Biden and President Biden, I think they voted for Trump. Just my opinion. I really believe they voted for President Trump. That's how angry they were at Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris and President Biden, they don't like each other. They don't like each other. Kamala Harris is a far-left Marxist. Biden, I mean, he's a socialist but he's not a Marxist. But Kamala Harris is a full-blown Marxist. And Biden was like, what the heck? I can't vote for her. I think Biden and Dr. Biden voted for Trump. I really do. So you're talking about Chuck Schumer, Chris and Emil. Chuck Schumer, gotcha. DJ Elias, do I need any support documentation for I-129F? I have form filled out, documentation, pictures, 2x2 photos. I visited her for 1 month in May to June. Anything you can think of that I might be leaving out? Well, did you go on any trips together? Did you have an engagement party? Do you have wedding plans? Do you have any wedding plans in place that's documented? Can you prove to immigration that you are engaged to this young lady that you visited for 1 month? Have you met family and friends? Do you have pictures with her family and friends? DJ Elias, do you have lots and lots of pictures with family and friends of your future bride? Have you had an engagement party? Have you notified you're engaged but didn't take any pictures? Well, immigration want to see pictures. You've only made one trip to see her for 1 month. No engagement party, no pictures of an engagement party. So you're asking for a K-1 visa to marry somebody, but you're not even engaged to be married. Or are you engaged to be married? Are you engaged to be married? Are you engaged? Can you prove it? You can't prove it. You need to get on a plane. You proposed. Okay, well, that's easy. Anybody can propose. I mean, a proposal with no photos and no evidence and no wedding plans, okay, is not strong evidence for a K-1 visa. You got to go back. You got to get on a plane. You got to fly back. And you got to get lots of pictures with her and her family and her friends. You got to make 2 trips. Spend another week or 2 there, or a month, if you can. Do you have an engagement ring? If you do, where's the receipt? Get the receipt for the engagement ring. Get some white out like this, right here. Get some white out. White out the price of the engagement ring. Put it on a piece of paper like this. Get the receipt. Put it on a piece of paper. Here's a receipt for my engagement ring. Okay. and then the jeweler will identify it as an engagement ring on the receipt. You're going to have photos at your engagement party with all the friends and family. When I had my engagement party with Karina, it was in Bogota, Colombia, we had about 25 people show up. And we're all in our street clothes. We weren't wearing any cultural clothes. If you live in countries like Africa, Indonesia, and you want to get an engagement party in cultural clothes, that's not a good idea. Well, you can do that, but don't include those pictures in the K1 visa application. You're going to have to include separate pictures of a group gathering of people, but not in any cultural clothes, because immigration will misconstrue it as a wedding ceremony. And then you're going to get your K1 visa denied. Well, we got pictures of a wedding here, guys. If you want to get your K1 visa approved, this is my opinion. This is how I did it. I dated for a year. I proposed. I purchased an engagement ring. I had an engagement party with her family in Colombia. We had lots of pictures taken over that 1 year. I had 3 trips in that time, 3 trips actually. I had all this evidence of our relationship, okay? And I took a picture of the engagement ring and I made an annotation, this is an engagement ring, okay? I had hotel receipts. Well, I stayed at this hotel for, I had scheduled for 17 or 18 days, but I ended up staying in Colombia for 5 weeks. So I had the hotel receipts for 17 days. I asked the hotel to put Karina's name included on the hotel receipt. So it said Diego and Karina on the hotel receipt. Then we got set up in a bigger apartment. She was living in a single person's apartment. I helped her get into a big apartment so there's enough room for both of us. Okay. My name went on the rent receipts in Colombia. I had all those evidences of being on the rent receipts in Colombia. So let's suppose you know somebody in the Philippines and she's living with mom and dad. Well, you know, that's different. But you can send money to her as contribution to the family for food and water and etc. Okay, and keep once a month send money to your prometida, and keep those receipts from from Western Union. You got to prove financial support. You got to prove a relationship. You got to prove an engagement. You've got to prove a wedding is in the works. You're planning a wedding. Send an email to your pastor or to your imam or to your synagogue or church or government agency, whatever, to the wedding chapel in Las Vegas. Say, hey, I'm in the middle of a K1 visa. I'm engaged to my beneficiary who's in the Philippines. I'm just getting ideas for how much it would cost to rent the wedding chapel in Las Vegas or plan the wedding, and have all this evidence of a wedding in process, even though you can't set a date because you don't know a date because you're waiting for the K1 visa to get approved. A K1 visa is a visa that says you are going to get married within 90 days. Well, you better have some kind of wedding plans in place, at least an engagement at a minimum, and lots of photos of your relationship over the time period you've been together. I dated Karina for 3 years. We got married. When she filed for her green card, we had 3 years worth of evidence. Pictures from 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024 in America. And then we had a collection of wedding photos. That's how you do it. That's how we got our green card in 3.5 months. Not my green card, Karina. We had a strong application because we'd been together for so long. So your question is, DJ, anything I can think of that you might be leaving out? Engagement ring, engagement receipt, engagement party, photos of the engagement, 2 trips to visit with her, dinner dates. Did you take her out to dinner? Every time I took Karina out to dinner in Bogota, Colombia, I put it on my credit card. I could have paid cash in Colombian pesos. It could be easier just to pay cash, but I used my credit card. I had evidence that, number 1, I was in Colombia. Number 2, I was at this restaurant on this day at this time, and I was feeding 2 people. And then we took little selfies at the restaurant, just a few. But immigration, what they really want to see are pictures with family and friends. So I had lots and lots of pictures with Karina and her friends and her family and her brothers. She's got 5 brothers that lives in Colombia. Okay, I haven't met her mom yet, or her dad, because they live in Venezuela. I haven't met them. I want to meet them, but I can't go to Venezuela because if I go to Venezuela, Maduro will throw me in jail because he'll accuse me of some nefarious thing, you know. And that's how these communists work. They're evil people. So I can't go to Venezuela to see your mom, even though I'd like to. There's a lot of things you got to do before you file a K-1 visa. Number 1 is you got to qualify for the benefit. And number 2, you got to have a long-standing relationship. I would say a minimum of at least 8 months. But 1 year is the number they're looking for. So DJ, you propose, but you don't have any pictures. Well, immigration don't take your word for it. They want evidence. Chris and Emil, do you think we will have another government shutdown? I doubt it. No, I don't think so. I doubt it. Hannah, does your wife Karina make an interview for adjustment of status at the biometric step before getting her green card? No, Hannah. You fill out the green card application, the 485. The 864 and the 693. You repeat the medical exam. You have a civil surgeon do a medical exam for a green card, plus certify the vaccinations, fill out the sponsor's affidavit of support, fill out the application, put a green card package together about this thick over the next 50 to 60 days. Then when immigration, when they cash your check, do not use your credit card to pay for your green card, okay? Do not use your credit card to pay for your green card. Use a check or a cashier's check. Do not use money orders. Do not use a credit card. Use a check, a personal check, or a cashier's check. When they cash the check for $1,440, if you're just applying for one adult, that price includes the biometrics. So you're going to get, when they cash the check, you're going to get a letter in the mail, Hannah, with a biometrics appointment. You need to be at this place on this day at this time on this floor in this immigration office. You do the fingerprints, the photo, the full signature. That's the biometrics. And then you come home, you put your feet up, you get some Mountain Dew, and you relax and you wait for your green card. Here's the difference. When I applied for Karina's embassy interview in Colombia, I paid for her consulate interview. I scheduled the interview and I scheduled the biometrics. When she came to the United States and we got married, immigration scheduled the biometrics. Immigration schedules the interview if it's necessary. If you submit a very good green card application, that is a total positivity of a real relationship, of cohabitation and commingling of funds, you don't have to go in front of another immigration interview. They'll just mail you the green card from Corbin, Kentucky. So Hannah's question, does your wife Karina make an interview for the adjustment of status? No, she doesn't. She has her green card already. Immigration schedules the biometrics. Immigration schedules the interview if it's required for a second interview. Karina didn't need a second interview. They already knew we'd been together for 3 years. We submitted a green card application this thick, and they looked through it, and they just mailed her the green card. She's done. Now all Karina has to do is submit for her 10-year green card, which she will do 90 days before her 2-year green card expires. That's how it works. If you do it right. If you follow these videos, if you follow me on this channel, and Karina, it's your channel, I do it for you, you'll get through this, okay? And I try to help you understand how to do this process so you don't have to pay anybody to do it. Because an immigration attorney, if you have a consult with an immigration attorney with a question, let's suppose you got a question, how much is he going to charge, or she? $500 for a minute? I don't know. Who knows? Chris and Emil, Job. What is that? What is JOB? What's the question, Chris and Emil? Anyway, I've been talking an hour and 15 minutes. Do you have any questions? Any more questions for me? Anything? If not, I'll come back. I don't even know what day it is today. What is it? Today's what? Monday? Yeah, it must be Monday. I'll be back on Wednesday. Or maybe if you want, I'll come back tomorrow and do a live stream. It's up to you. You tell me. But if I don't have any more questions, and DJ Elias, today's Wednesday. I don't know what day is it today. What day is it today? DJ Elias, you need to get on a plane and fly back to your beneficiary's country, spend a vacation with her, get a receipt for the engagement ring, get pictures together with her friends and family, okay? Have an engagement party with her friends and family, identify the picture as an engagement party. If you don't do any of these things, it's going to make it harder and harder for you to get a K1 visa approval. You don't, Larry Pearson, you don't have to include an I-134 with the I-129F, but I recommend you do. I recommend you fill out the Declaration of Financial Support, the I-134, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, and include it in the green card, the K1 visa application. It's not required until the embassy, okay? But I recommend you include it with the K1 visa application so immigration can look and see that your income is sufficient and you're good to go. It's just one thing less that they're gonna check off of their check. When it gets to I included the I-134 in Karina's K1 visa application. By the time that paperwork got to the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia, they already knew how much money I made and they knew I qualified for the benefit. So they just took the I-134 Karina had with her and they set it aside and they approved her visa, okay? Because they already knew how much money I made before they got it. So Karina did not have to explain my finances to immigration in Bogota. They already knew. Hello, 5 minutes of soccer. Hola, Diego. 5 minutes of soccer. In the I-134, should I put my current income? Yes. How much? As long as you can prove. If you make more money in 2024 than you did in 2023, put down your current income. Okay? But you got to prove your income with pay stubs and bank statements, direct deposits. If your income for 2023 was not quite there, but it's great, it's fantastic for 2024, and you can prove it, that's what you put on the I-134. But you got to prove it. Pay stubs, bank statements, direct deposits. Print the bank statements, highlight your direct deposits for 1 year at least for 2024. Okay, any more questions? Come on, guys. 5 minutes of soccer. I was not able to get my bank statement with average balance from my savings account. Okay. It is not difficult to get bank statements from your bank. You go in person and you sit down and say, I want you to print out the last 12 months worth of my bank statements. You got to have the bank statements for the green card application. And I recommend it for the K1 visa interview. You can get bank statements. 5 minutes of soccer. I'm flying to Paris next week. Well, let's put some pixie dust all over that trip. Hannah, how much time do you think for the I-7, for the work permit to get approved? If filing concurrently with the form I-485, 3 to 4 months. It's taking 3 to 4 months to get a work permit. Okay? So you got to stay busy for 3 to 4 months while you're waiting for that work permit. 5 minutes of soccer, December 4th is the day in Paris. So when you get to Paris, you'll go eat some great food in Paris, use your credit card, print the receipt off of your bank statement, highlight it, and include it in the green card application. I was in Paris, etc. Okay, you're flying to Paris next week. Keep the boarding passes. Okay, when you fly there, when you fly back, include those boarding passes in the green card application. Go out and go on dinner dates in France, in Paris, France. Go on dinner dates every night. Get the receipts from the restaurant. I don't care if it's McDonald's. There's McDonald's in Paris. Go into McDonald's, get some Big Macs and big large order of fries. Have them give you the receipt. It says McDonald's Paris in the Louvre or wherever. Make a copy of it on your phone because those receipts can fade out. Make a copy take a picture with your phone and print it, and include all those dinner dates in Paris with your beneficiary in your green card application. People don't think of this stuff. They don't think of it, but it makes your green card application a lot stronger. Okay, you want to have more, not less, evidence of you being together with your future bride to be or groom to be. But Paris I've been to Paris. I went to Paris, France. I was there. I went to Paris in 1991. I was in the Navy, and my ship pulled into Marseille. I got off the ship in Marseille, and then I caught the bullet train from Marseille to Paris. I think it was like I spent the night in Paris. I went to the burial of the lead singer of the Doors. I went to his gravesite in Paris. I had a great time. I had a good time in Marseille. Marseille, France is beautiful. Chris and Emil, if I do get married in December, file for the green card in March, I should receive the green card in June or July. Let's say you file in March, so it should be August, September, you'll get it. But remember, the goal is to get the green card approved without another interview. That's the goal. That's the mission. And you do that with evidence of your relationship and cohabitation and commingling of funds. You got to stop so much thinking about when I'm going to get my green card, instead of putting together a green card application that's going to not require me to go in front of another immigration officer. Yeah, 5 minutes of soccer. Marseille is beautiful. I was in Marseille. We pulled into France for about a week, I think, 10 days. I went to Paris. I was in Marseille. They got some nice beaches there. I had a good time. And I was there getting paid, being in the military. And there were Americans in Marseille who were tourists. And they're like, yeah, I'm a tourist here. It cost me $8,000 for a vacation for 2 weeks. I said, okay, I'm getting paid to be here. 5 minutes of soccer. Diego, my fiance, was refused a tourist visa in 2023. Do you think that will impact the K1? Not at all. It's nothing to do with the K1 visa. A K1 visa is a one-way ticket to the United States, or a one-way visa. Okay? It's a one-way visa. It's got nothing to do with being a tourist. So it's irrelevant. They'll see it in the computer. Oh, you got denied for this tourist visa. But it's no big deal. It's irrelevant. You'll get the K1 visa if you guys qualify for the benefit. You'll get it. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. I'll be back. I don't even know what day it is today. I don't have my phone, so I can't. It's Karina. I gave her the phone. So I'll be back, whatever day it is I'm supposed to be back. But I'll be back with Karina. Thanks for spending time today. I hope you learned some new things. I hope you got more educated on the K1 visa process today. And before you know it, it will be December. And then it will be Christmas. And then today's what? Today's Tuesday? Who knew? Okay, I don't know. We'll see you whenever at the next live stream.